HTML entities. Now, HTML entities are special codes used to display characters that have special meaning in HTML, or characters that are not easily typed or rendered by browsers. Now, a good example is the copyright symbol. We all know the copyright symbol, right? Let me go to the next slide. We should have it. Good. So look at symbols like this, right? Like copyright, the reg, in fact some what's it called, currencies, right? We can use HTML entities to render them or to display them on our web page. So HTML entities are special codes used to display characters that have special meaning in HTML. All right, and then we have types of HTML entities. We have the character entities, and then we have the numeric character references. So for the first one, it represents special characters that have reserved meanings in HTML. Reserved meaning in HTML. Now, for instance, we have the less than, that is, excuse me, the open angle bracket and the closing angle bracket. All right. Remember, if you want to create a tag, we start a tag with the open angle bracket. Excuse me. We start a tag with the open angle bracket and then close it with the closing angle bracket, right? So which means in some cases, right, you might not really be able to get the desired output if you are rendering this, because the browser might think that you want to start a tag, and in that case you might not render it the way you want. So that's in that situation you are advised to use the HTML entity. So if you want to generate a less than symbol in HTML, this is what we use, the ampersand symbol, then LT. LT means less than, and then semicolon to end it. Same thing for greater than, we have ampersand, then GT for greater than, and then you have your semicolon. Then, of course, if you want to get this symbol, the ampersand symbol, you use the, of course, you start with that symbol and then AMP and then your semicolon. So let's look at the example. Entities, HTML. Save. So I want to render the greater than. So I can say, okay, let's run this first. Entities, okay, entities. All right, good. So less than, let's do less than first. I can create a paragraph and say less than. So less than is this symbol. So you can see the moment I open this less than, in fact, VS Code is ready to create a tag for me. So which means less than is a reserved keyword in HTML. And for you to get this symbol right on your content, sometimes maybe as part of your content, you want to display this less than symbol, right? In that case, you are to use the HTML entity. And to achieve that, we start with the ampersand symbol and then LT, which means less than, and then you use your semicolon. Good. So you can see different lists that we have here. I don't even know some because I don't use some of most of them. I don't use most of them. The regular ones are the less than, greater than, maybe the non-empty space, and of course the copyright symbol and the reg symbol. All right, so less than. So save. You can see the color has changed. I'm going to refresh, and then I have it right, less than. So if I want greater than, ampersand again, GT semicolon. Good. Then for the ampersand symbol, obviously we're going to start with the ampersand symbol itself, and then AMP semicolon. Save, refresh, and then we get this. right? And we also have the equivalent numeric character for this less than, greater than symbol, right? From the slide, you can see that. So they actually represent, the numeric character references represent characters based on their Unicode or ASCII values. So if you want to generate less than using the numeric character, you can use hash 60 in between ampersand and semicolon. Then for greater than, hash 62 in between ampersand and semicolon. And then for the ampersand symbol itself, you use hash 38. So I mean, you don't need to cram this. Trust me, you don't need to cram this. If at all you need any of these HTML entities, you can always look it up online. So you can just go online and then you search for HTML entities. You're going to see lists of HTML entities that we have, and then from there you extract the ones that you need and then you use it in your project. So use cases for HTML entities: reserved keyword, reserved characters, right? Sorry. So use cases for HTML entities: reserved characters. So use entities to display characters that have special meanings in HTML. So syntax such as greater than, less than, and then the ampersand. I have explained this, so I think there is no need of um going over it again. And then we have the non-breaking spaces. So we can use the NBSP in between the ampersand and semicolon to insert non-breaking spaces. All right, and then we have special symbols. So we can also use entities for special symbols like the copyright, the reg, and then the euro symbol, and we have a whole lot of them. And then these are another example. So if you want to create something like this, or you want to say 5 greater than, no, 5 less than 10. So 5 is less than 10, right? You can generate it by writing something like this. Let's try it. Let's try it. 5 less than 10. So it's going to be 5. So less than, using HTML entity, we use the ampersand, LT, and then 10. Save. Let's see the output. Good. So for copyright, we use the ampersand, copy, and then semicolon, save. Then if you refresh, you get the copyright symbol. Just as I've mentioned, you can always go to the browser, search for it, and then you pick the ones that you need, then use it right in your design. You don't need to cram it, you don't need to cram the long list. All right.